Good evening and Happy New Year, and welcome to the fastest half hour in the cryptid world, This Week in Bigfoot, the news show that scours the internet and the Bigfoot community each and every week to bring you the people, the places, and the stories making headlines around the Bigfoot world. Then we take it and we wrap it up in a nice, neat 30-minute package. If it has to do with Sasquatch, Bigfoot, the Wildman, trust me, we've got you covered. Here's what we got for this special New Year's Eve show. 3 Canadian teams are hoping to tackle the Bigfoot mystery using a massive trail camera array in central Ontario, and we've got all the details of this ambitious project. Mike Luci breaks down the latest Montana trail cam photo and recaps the top Bigfoot sightings in 2023, and Snowwalker Prime kicks the year out the door with the year's final 2 minutes with. These stories and a whole lot more as we say goodbye to the year 2023, so you better settle in, buckle up, and grab some drinks because it's New Year's freaking Eve. You ready? Clock's ticking. Let's do it.
911, what are you reporting?
He's walking upright like a man.
With someone or something crawling around out here.
But he went back up the mountain.
Get somebody out there.
What's going on now, sir?
That son of a bitch is about 6'9", I don't know. He's all black and big. He is big.
As we bid farewell to the roller coaster year of 2023, the spotlight now turns to the dense woodlands of central Ontario, where 3 Canadian research teams are uniting in an ambitious project in the quest for undeniable proof of Bigfoot's existence. Ontario Sasquatch, Upper Canada Sasquatch, and Hastings County Sasquatch are converging in a collaborative effort to investigate and document the elusive creature's activity in a remote region known to the teams as Mowat. We kick off this week in the final show of 2023, taking a look into the research teams, their cutting-edge technology, the historical findings in the region that have driven them to this site, and their innovative project known affectionately as Hadrain's Wall North. Inspired by the North American Wood Ape Conservancy and their Camera-Track project, the 3 teams plan to construct and deploy their version of Hadrian's Wall over the coming winter months. Unlike a lot of the teams in the lower 48, these Canadian research teams aren't afraid to share the spotlight, their research findings and evidence, and actually work together. Imagine that, working together for a common goal with no one worried about who gets the credit. Pretty good idea. Finally tailored to the unique terrain, tree species, and anticipated movements of their target, this project holds the promise of solving the mystery that has captivated imaginations for generations. Ontario Sasquatch is spearheaded by Peter Smith, an electrical engineer based in North Bay, Ontario. Smith, with his years of field experience and efficiency in interviewing witnesses across the province, is a longtime friend of the late John Bindernagel and brings a scientific perspective to the investigation.
I'm going to get within half a kilometer of it and take the drone out over top of it so that I
Dennis Reichman leads Upper Canada Sasquatch, bringing a background of sound engineering and photography. Based in southwestern Ontario, Reichman manages a Bigfoot investigation channel on YouTube, documenting historical sightings and reports in the region. And Hastings County Sasquatch, under the leadership of founding member Darrell Gould, combines research with personal experiences. In the pursuit of conclusive evidence, these teams have invested countless hours in researching the area Mowat and their own money in advanced camera technology for the ongoing project. And while the specific camera brands remain undisclosed due to the absence of any type of sponsorship deals or discounts, the high-grade night vision cameras have been modified to capture clear nighttime images without the need for IR sensors or flashes. Bought in bulk and personally funded, these camera traps are strategically placed higher up in trees, similar to where you place a tree stand for deer or turkey hunting, about 30 to 40 feet. And to eliminate the possibility of tampering, an interlocking field of view grid pattern has been established, with each camera being covered by at least one other. Not satisfied with just the height and deployment of these specialized cameras, the team is also concealing them with a unique camouflage cover crafted from latex rubber, made to look exactly like the native tree bark in the region. Now, central Ontario has long been a hotbed for Bigfoot sightings, with the Mowat research area at the epicenter. The largest track found there was during the winter and measured an incredible 22 inches. The teams have also documented eye shine in the region and were able to precisely establish the eye height of the subject in the film at just over 9 feet, 9'1" to be exact, thanks to the use of surveying equipment. In conclusion, the collaborative efforts of these Ontario-based research teams stands as a testament to their dedication and passion, and should serve as an example for others within the Bigfoot community to put their egos in the back seat work together and try to figure this thing out. Now, I'd like to personally thank Daryl Gould from Hastings County Sasquatch for getting back to me so quickly, especially during the holiday season, so I could get this story out to you on time for the New Year's Eve show. And we will, of course, keep you posted of the team's progress and encourage you to subscribe to all three teams' channels to stay up to speed on the latest developments. Now, as most of you know, projects like this do not come cheap, and while the collaboration does help consolidate expenses, if you believe in solid Bigfoot research, I guess we should call it solid Sasquatch research, because it's up in Canada, then I urge you to contribute to the project, Project Overwatch. The GoFundMe link will be in the description.
This post from the Coalition for Critical Thinking in Bigfoot Research Facebook group went semi-viral earlier this month. The post appeared like it was trying to point out an alleged discrepancy between aggregated reports in prominent Bigfoot databases and the thousands of alleged encounters that were documented throughout human history. Many respondents seem to think this post was implying the cited database explicitly claimed or is believed to have documented every single known Bigfoot encounter. And while this was fiercely disproven, the conversation it generated shed light on two underlying takeaways in the form of questions. Is there a go-to Bigfoot database? And what details should databases be obligated to report? It seems the biggest determinant for people when identifying a go-to database is quantity. More reports equals more information, which is why the BFRO is such a popular choice. But to reiterate, just because a database features hundreds or thousands of reports doesn't mean they'll feature every single documented encounter in human history. Because the thing with databases, whether it's the BFRO, Bigfoot Mapping Project, or others, is their reports are mostly submitted by the witnesses, many of which are sent in privately and not publicly disclosed per the witness's request. Now, some databases do feature more archaic accounts predating modern era reports, but these are more far in between. Moreover, the descriptions of what these people allegedly encountered, whether or not it was a Squatch, those determinations are often subjective and contestable. So, all things considered, if you're looking for a go-to database that publicly contains every single documented Bigfoot encounter, it's probably impossible, so you're probably shit out of luck. This is a good segue, though, into our next takeaway. What should databases be obligated to report? And here's the most cut and dry way to sum it up. There's no laws or standards governing details databases are required to disclose, and that's because everything about Bigfoot, whether it's the nature of their origins, existence, or capabilities, is all speculation. In the Coalition Facebook post, there were a few commenters who think every single Bigfoot report applies to those with so-called paranormal qualities, and some even made secondhand claims that one of these major databases omits details or outright disregards reports of this nature. Now, if databases are in fact publishing reports with cherry-picked details, well, that could be an ethical dilemma. However, the complete omission of reports with details that don't fit an organization's Bigfoot paradigm, I mean, view it as you want, but as of now, they're free to do what they'd like. They can choose what reports to publish and decide which ones fit their depiction of a Sasquatch. If you disagree with this practice, I mean, find another database, or better yet, start your own. So until we uncover any verifiable information on the nature of Bigfoot's origins or existence that sets some parameters to abide by, databases are free to adhere to their own standards. They have no obligatory responsibilities, and until that changes, you're left to your own devices when getting your own information and reports that fit your depiction of this creature.
In the early hours of Christmas Day, Daniel Perez, editor of the renowned Bigfoot Times newsletter, revealed through a video with Bigfoot icon Kip Morrell the winner of this year's prestigious Bigfooter of the Year award.
Hey, season's greetings. This is Kip Morrell, 9-time Bigfooter of the Year, and I have a special announcement to make. I don't know if you're aware, but I have probably about 9 million followers on Facebook, and I don't know, we're 900 or 9, I don't know, but something like that. And by the way, I am the 9-time Bigfooter of the Year. Hang on. What? Oh, yeah, I guess it's not about me. So, I guess I'm supposed to make this special announcement on behalf of the Bigfoot Times newsletter. I'm here to announce the 2023 Bigfooter of the Year. And without further ado, it is, drum roll, Mark Marcel, from the state of Washington. Congratulations to Mark and happy holidays from me, the 9-time Bigfooter of the Year.
This year's title was bestowed upon Mark Murcell from Washington State, recognizing his remarkable contributions to the field of Bigfoot research. Perez shared insights into his decision-making process, revealing the parameters that guided him to this year's selection. Murcell's dedication to unearthing new and previously undiscovered information surrounding the classic tale captured the attention and admiration of both Dan Perez and the Bigfoot community as a whole. The importance of Murcell's work was also a key factor in Perez's decision this year. The Ape Canyon story, a beloved and intriguing campfire legend, has not been thoroughly scrutinized until Murcell's involvement. His efforts brought newfound scrutiny and attention to this historical event, shedding light on its significance within the context of Bigfoot lore. One of Murcell's most notable achievements was the successful location of the remains of the Ape Canyon cabin. Additionally, he played a pivotal role in enabling the relatives of the original group, particularly the late Leroy Perry Smith, to rediscover the actual Vanderwhite mine. Perez commended Murcell for selflessly redirecting praise to the relatives who made the groundbreaking discovery, showcasing his humility and dedication to preserving the historical integrity of the Ape Canyon incident. In conclusion, Perez highlighted the undeniable impact of Mark Murcell's work, emphasizing its role in authenticating the fascinating tale of the miners. Murcell's ongoing documentation has contributed significantly to the validation of the Ape Canyon incident, cementing his status as a deserving recipient of the Bigfoot of the Year award. We here at This Week in Bigfoot would like to congratulate Mark and wish him continued success in 2024.
Tonight's episode is sponsored by Larynx.
I originally was just going to make this photo a regular rundown segment, but I discovered its backstory has a real ass to it. The original post was published on December 20th and reportedly taken on one of the original poster's range units in Lame Deer, Montana, located near the Northern Cheyenne Reservation. The timestamp says these photos were respectively taken on the night of September 3rd and morning of September 4th in 2020. On that note, the OP hasn't clarified if it was actually taken then or more recently with incorrectly set metadata. The second photo is significant because it gives us some scale to help calculate the figure's potential height range. Now, the OP does mention he's 5'11", but doesn't clarify who he is in this second photo. The figure's height came out to about 94 pixels. Just to clarify, we once again used Canva to figure all this out. Both men's heights respectively measured at 106 and 105 pixels. Not only does it mean they're seemingly taller than the figure, but using OP's purported 5'11" stature, our figure's potential height range falls somewhere between 5'2" and 5'3". Although the figure doesn't fall into that 7-foot+ zone, its arm span is where things get interesting. The figure's positioning lets me measure both arms. The much closer left arm came in at 53 pixels, while the right arm measured at 47 pixels. When added together, they give us a fingertip-to-fingertip arm span of 100 pixels. Divide that by the figure's 94 pixel height, we get an arm span to height ratio of 1.05 to 1. While this implies the figure's arm span is longer than its height, when you consider the margin of error, this ratio can't solely rule out the figure being human. Now, there are some notable variables here. To reiterate, the figure's left arm is much closer and clearer. If we just use the left side's measurements, we get a 106 pixel arm span, which equates to a 1.15 to 1 ratio, which falls in the expected range for Squatches. The right arm measurement would give us a 94 pixel span, whose 1-to-1 ratio perfectly matches human proportions. However, this may not be 100% accurate since its right arm is angled and positioned a little further from the camera. If you noticed, both men and the figure have arched knees, which may suggest there's some sort of step or incline, maybe that just didn't show up on camera. Just something to consider. Most interestingly, I found this article detailing a witness's alleged sighting back in October while driving between the towns of Lame Deer and Ashland. He described spotting two figures. One he estimated was over 7 feet tall, the other between 5 and 5.5 feet tall, which was the figure's purported height range we just calculated. If we can verify precisely when this photo was taken, and if it happened this year no less, then it's possible the figure could be the same one spotted back in October. So until I'm able to find out more information, you'll have to decide if this purported trail camera photo is fact or hoaxed.
All right, folks, if you check your watches, you'll know we're exactly through the episode, which can only mean one thing. It's the part of the show that we give to content creator Michael Merchant screen time to speak his mind and get what's ever bothering him off his chest. Here he is now with the last rant of 2023. This is 2 Minutes With.
Echo Station 3K. Spotted Imperial Walker. Echo Station 3K. We have spotted Imperial Walker. Imperial Walker's on the North Bridge.
I've made an amazing discovery and I had to share it with you. I am so lucky. Bigfoot is half angel. Angel? Like biblical angel? Yeah, like from the Old Testament, specifically the Nephilim. The fallen 1/3 angels that followed Lucifer? You are very knowledgeable about this. Christian angels produced Bigfoot. Well, this cat vet did a DNA study, and that was her conclusions in her paper. She had angel DNA? Well, no, I don't think so. Well, what did she have to compare it to? How'd she know it was angel DNA? That's a really good question. I hadn't thought of that. You say her paper was published, like peer-reviewed? Well, not exactly. They tried to peer review it, but it was heavily censored.
Wrong, 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 wrong.
So she self-published. The peer review process is not a censoring. It's designed to provide accuracy and legitimacy to the studies. Yeah, they were trying to censor her.
Wrong, 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 wrong.
That's the whole point of peer review. Avoiding peer review is counterproductive to science. A lot of people believe in this study. It's been vetted by a lot of people. Let me guess, the Bigfoot expert? Yes, how did you know? I've been hanging out with these people. They're very knowledgeable. Do you hear how ridiculous this sounds? This is crazy. Have you lost your mind? Look, there's no need to insult. A lot of people believe in this. Just because a lot of people believe in something doesn't mean it's real. It's how democracy works. A lot of people think the earth is flat. Well, you never know. Oh, I think we know. Look, she's not the only big name. There was this other guy. He's dead now. Some say he fell under the Bigfoot curse. Bigfoot curse?
Now go to that voodoo that you do somewhere.
Yeah, if you study Bigfoot, you might die. We're all gonna die. Prematurely, before you're supposed to. Oh, okay, fine, but who's this guy? Scott Carpenter, and this other guy that likes to kill wolves?
Quit it.
He helped to catch him some money, like $20,000. $20,000? What's she doing with that?
All right? Quit being part of the problem. Get your head out of your asses and become part of the solution.
Well, the word is she's sequencing mermaid DNA. Are you flashing a gang sign? Is this sarcasm?
We got a problem here? We got a problem, nigga?
No, I'm serious. I'm always serious with you. Do you know how ludicrous this sounds? Mermaid DNA? Well, I'm in this group of people and they all believe it. For what possible reason do you guys think that Sasquatch is related to the Nephilim? Because they're demonic and evil. Be that as it may be, doesn't make any sense. Do you know the description of Lucifer?
There's a guy named Fred and he's got a pair of slacks. Ooh, Fred's got slacks.
Demon spawn cast from hell. I'm very familiar with him. It was said he was the shining one, the most beautiful and most perfect of all the angels. He was God's right-hand man. And he's evil. It was said that Moses entertained angels and thought they were men.
The Lord Jehovah has given unto you these 10 commandments.
You can't tell them apart. They look like men. I get it. They look like men. You don't have to bark at me. They don't look like Bigfoot. Bigfoot looks like an ape. Well, you don't know that. Bigfoot doesn't look like a man. He looks like a gorilla. But you know they're human. Are they human or angels? Well, they're a combination of both. They're a hybrid, you see. It's between humans and the fallen angels, the Nephilim. I don't even know how to debate this with you. I know, it's pretty amazing, right? No, it's crazy. It's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous notion. It's not backed up by anything. Well, there's a number of books on it, and like I said, she did this study that she published.
You're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong.
She self-published. She avoided the peer-reviewed process. You get really worked up about this stuff because it's how you determine the truth. And I think democracy has something to do with the truth. There's a lot of people on her side. Look, she doesn't even have angel DNA. She has nothing to compare it to. She has no way of knowing what angel DNA looks like. You do make a pretty good point there. I hadn't thought of it that way. She doesn't have angel DNA. How in bloody hell did she determine that Sasquatch was half angel?
Does everybody want soup?
Please, we must talk. This may be our last supper.
I don't know. And the descriptions of angels are nothing like the descriptions of Sasquatch. The descriptions of angels mean they look like men, beautiful men. Okay, I get it, beautiful men. Or women. They're supposed to be perfect and pristine and shining and bright and beautiful. Even Lucifer. He was the most perfect of them all.
Then where did this tasty lick come from?
Makes no sense for him to look like Sasquatch. You know, some Sasquatches are reported to be very handsome.
I'm lying alone with my head on the phone, thinking of you till it hurts.
No, you can't make the argument that they're demonic and hideous and beautiful at the same time. That's my position. I'm sticking to it. There's a lot of variability. I think you're hanging out with a bunch of wackadoodle. They're Bigfoot experts. I tell you, they're very knowledgeable. I don't even know why I try with you. Because we're buds. We're like this. No, we're not like this. We're like this. I can't even get my fingers far enough away to represent what we are.
Ooh, Fred's got slacks on the boulevard.
Wild Bigfoot by Larix, the official hat of This Week in Bigfoot, sponsored by Larix.
It's time once again for the Bigfoot Rundown. The Bigfoot Rundown.
All right, starting us off. What do you think this horseback rider caught on camera? This video is part of a larger compilation I found on Facebook. Although I couldn't find any additional information like when or where it was recorded, all the roads keep leading back to a video posted on the Bigfoot Testimony YouTube channel earlier this year. Lots of comments speculated what this could potentially be, from a Bigfoot or skinwalker to the rake, alien, or someone in a costume. What many people found particularly intriguing about this video is the horse's apparent reaction. Lots of commenters still remain skeptical about the video, alleging parts of the audio may have been added or manipulated, and in addition to thinking that the horse's reaction might be getting blown out of proportion. What do you think this video captured? Bigfoot, rake, alien, some dude in a costume? We'd love to hear your thoughts.
The Bigfoot Roundtable is coming to the Squatch America YouTube channel. This groundbreaking talk show will feature a 4-person Bigfoot Roundtable discussion. On the show, a panel of renowned researchers, enthusiasts, and eyewitnesses will attempt to unravel the mysteries surrounding the legendary creature. Take a look at the trailer.
Get ready for an unprecedented YouTube experience. Introducing the Bigfoot Roundtable, the groundbreaking talk show featuring a 4-person Bigfoot Roundtable discussion. Join our panel of renowned Bigfoot researchers, enthusiasts, and eyewitnesses as they unravel the mysteries surrounding the legendary creature. Hear captivating stories, witness compelling evidence, and engage in heated debates. From sightings to scientific analysis, the Bigfoot Roundtable explores it all. Tune in for an adventure-packed journey into the unknown. Don't miss a moment of the excitement, exclusively on your screen soon. Prepare to believe. The Bigfoot Roundtable, coming soon to captivate and astound audiences everywhere.
And that's on Squatch America.
Here's a compelling video coming out of northern Alberta.
Weird shit from over here. Over there somewhere. You hear that? What the fuck? I'm not going anywhere away from my truck.
The video's backstory confirms some notable details that I believe make it rundown worthy. It originally comes from a TikTok account called BigHappy555. The TikToker does indeed appear to work in logging, but has Edmonton, Alberta as their location, which is over 240 miles from Fox Lake. He's also posted multiple videos that show he reportedly works nighttime and/or pre-dawn hours. Facebook and TikTok comments proposed squatches, skinwalkers, wendigo, large cats, or other machinery as potential culprits behind these blood-curdling screams. One thing that's very important to note when making your determination on this footage is the original TikTok video is no longer on Big Happy 555's page.
Now, here's something you don't see every day. A sleuth, yes, a sleuth, you can look it up, of black bears being driven out of an area while someone or something howls very loudly, I might add, in the distance. Take a look.
Starting to regret that I stopped at this first time.
Now, regardless of what you might think of this video, the camera work is outstanding, getting so close to those bears. If you got any videos, clips, or reels you'd like us to cover in the rundown, drop us a link in the comments or hit us up at thisweekinbigfootnewscast@gmail.com.
And we're going to close out the rundown this year by listing our top 5 sightings of 2023. Let's get started. Number 5, the Blue Mountain Bigfoot footage.
Right there. Oh. Look where my thumb's pointing. Oh yeah. See him?
It looks like it.
It's a human. He's just standing there watching.
This video was literally taken a few weeks ago in northeastern Oregon. A woman allegedly caught this compelling footage while out hiking with her daughter. Number 4, the feral footage. Hard to say exactly what this footage captured. Since we covered it in episode 36, I learned this may have been filmed in Vietnam, and it's actually been around for about a few months. Number 3, the skunk ape trail camera photo. This photo came out of Florida over the summer and took the internet by storm. Many people who believe this picture shows a living creature think it's either a juvenile skunk ape or maybe even some kind of primate hybrid. Number 2, the Bigfoot hand discovery.
Look at the toes. See that we have toes that hook. They've got joints on them. They have a long nail, a long pointed nail. This is not very old. It's hardly decayed.
Show the pad. Show the ball of the foot.
And look at the ball of the foot. It's obviously been walking barefooted always. Never wore shoes. But the skin goes right up here.
The bones.
This one technically isn't a sighting, but it still gained a lot of traction in the Bigfoot community. This appendage was discovered at a tree planting site in British Columbia. However, all signs point to it likely coming from a bear. And at number 1, the narrow gauge railroad video.
It's an elusive creature. Alright, just squat it down. Yeah, let me see your camera, I'll do it.
Someone filmed this video while on a railroad tour between the towns of Silverton and Durango in southwest Colorado. Although the figure looks eerily identical to a Sasquatch costume owned by a nearby company called Sasquatch Expedition Campers, they denied any involvement in the incident, so who knows with this one. We based this list on which sightings appear to generate the most buzz online, so definitely let us know your thoughts on our picks. And yeah, that's a wrap for the Bigfoot Rundown in 2023. We'll be back with some new changes in 2024.
The Bigfoot Rundown. It's time once again for Chuck Larson in this week's Top 5 Bigfoot Podcasts and Live Streams.
Kicking us off at number 5, it's the Bigfoot Crossroads Podcast, episode 96, Biblical Bigfoot. Check this out.
The story of Bigfoot sightings, the descriptions in the newspapers and everything started to match that and became more of, this mystery great ape. And then in the 70s, you get more and more science-based for the most part, and people start pursuing this thing as some sort of undiscovered primate. And now it seems to be going back into a supernatural realm where you have, this biblical belief, you have, the paranormal Bigfoot hopping through portals and cloaking itself and things of that nature, psychic abilities.
At number 4, it's Bigfoot Case Files. Bigfoot attacked us at Lover's Lane. I've had worse dates.
The light from the car helped illuminate around the car enough for me to see that something massive was towering over the back of the car. I looked up, and all I could see was a large looming figure. I couldn't make out any features. All I could see was a large silhouette that stood about 7 or more feet. I froze, my gaze fixed on whatever it was. My girlfriend asked me if anyone was there, but I couldn't reply. I stood staring at this thing, and it at me. With fear in her voice, my girlfriend looked over her shoulder and she saw it. She cried out and begged me to get back in the car. I was able to finally break the trance I was in, and I got behind the wheel of the car. I turned the car over, put it into gear, and slammed my foot against the accelerator. I turned the wheel hard to the left and spun out. I had forgotten to turn the lights on, so I was driving blind. I reached down, pulled the headlight knob, and looked up to see the thing standing in the center of the road. My desire to get out of there took control. I swerved to the left and I pressed down on the accelerator. The old Nova lurched forward and past the creature, which merely stood staring at us, its eyes fixed on the car and us.
Sliding in at number 3, it's Finger Thunker. Rush's Detloff Pass and Patterson's Bigfoot Mysteries. Solved. Check it out.
Why wouldn't they have been putting clothes on and boots on and coats on and grabbing some food and blankets and hatchets and stuff instead of wasting the time cutting their way out of this tent? It just doesn't make sense. I mean, what does make sense is your avalanche theory. So instead of fleeing here, they cut their way out and then they calmly walk their way down the slope, half naked, to the trees a mile down below. Bottom line, if there is no damage from an avalanche, then there was no avalanche.
At number 2, it's A Flash of Beauty. Darrell Wilson, Bigfoot Eyewitness. Take a listen as Darrell, diagnosed with terminal cancer, takes a trip to Alaska to visit his grandkids and has an incredible Bigfoot experience.
I cannot tell you what that did to me. I saw gorilla wrinkles right here. I saw a nose twice as wide as mine. I saw a bare face, a bald forehead with a raised eyebrow ridge right here, no eyebrows. The hair started right on, kind of right up here on the, towards the top of his head and went all the way to his ankles. The hair started, I think, at his knuckles and went all the way down. I couldn't see hair on the fingers.
And coming in at number 1 this week, it's the Bigfoot Influencers Podcast from the Untold Radio Network. Sasquatch, The Search for Sabe with Tate Hieronymus.
And we weren't there for that long. We got everything set up. We were hanging around. And I think it was around like 9:25. We kind of walked down the trail from where our car was. And there was this dead tree, and I wanted to do a knock. And so I did a knock, but the sound was not that good. So I do 2 whoops, one whoop one way and one whoop the other way. And I had my first FLIR that I've ever had. I was really excited to use it. And, I wasn't really thinking anything was going to happen. And so after I did the whoops, I heard a whoop respond back to mine. I was like, okay. And so I was like, dude, I was telling my friends, like, I heard this whoop. So we actually backtracked the trail to like this little overlook over the ridge. And we're kind of scanning and we see this eye shine, but we're seeing lights. We're kind of looking. And we're like, dude, how far is that away? It looks like it's 50 feet.
All right, folks, all good things must come to an end as we spy to 2023. What a year we had here at the show. I'd like to thank you for watching and remind you to like and share everything we do here at the Catskill Appalachian Research Collective. You got to tell your friends. And if you have any questions or comments, or maybe a story you'd like to see us cover on the show, you can always drop us a line at ThisWeekinBigfootNewscast@gmail.com. So, until next week and next year, from Mike Luci, Chuck Larson, and Snowwalker Prime, I'm Brendon Brown, reminding you that when it comes to getting your Bigfoot news, be informed, not biased. Take care. See you next year.